Hello, welcome to Real Frank Kids Movie Reviews. Thanks for checking us out. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the new Disney PIXAR movie, Lightyear. Now, we will be talking about spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet and you want to see it first, stop, go see the movie, and come back and check out this episode. We're going to have a special guest reviewer. We're going to get his opinion on this, where it ranks in the Disney catalog, the Disney PIXAR movies, things we liked, things we didn't like, and Buzz. What's up with Buzz? All that coming up next.
Real Frank.
All right, welcome back to the show for the umpteenth time, PIETRO.
I have no idea how many times I've been on the show.
Yes, you've been the guest that's been on here the most so far. Bunch of times. All right.
A million.
So, we saw Lightyear, the movie Lightyear. Well, before we get started, tell our audience what the movie Lightyear is about.
It's about Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story, just in a movie, like where Buzz was from, where Buzz marooned a bunch of Space Rangers on a very strange planet, and he tries to reach hyperspeed, but when it takes 4 years each try, and he failed everyone with the others, but at one point he reached hyperspeed, but it was 22 years later as how much time passed, and then all this robot stuff was there, and he had to stop that, and he found himself 50 years later as Zurg, and he stayed on the planet, I guess, because everyone had lives there too, like what Earth life would be like.
Right. So, in other words, he gets them. He's leaving this planet. There's Space Rangers. Him and his partner Hawthorne, I think, was her name. The other Space Ranger. They're investigating a planet. He tries to leave the planet. He wrecks the ship, and they get stranded on the planet. And then they start a life there on the planet, right? So then the entire time he's there, his goal is to try and get everybody off the planet, but they have to find a new fuel source or reinvent the fuel source to power the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
That sound about right?
The hyperspeed crystal.
The hyperspeed crystal, right. And every time he does a test, the test only takes him like 3 minutes, but when he's up in space going around the sun, everyone else ages like 4, 5, 6, 10 years. So every time he returns back, they're a lot older, right?
The first couple took 4 years. The one where he achieved it was 22 years. 22
years, right. Took 22 years. All right. Very good. That's a great synopsis for this movie. First of all, did you like the movie?
A bit. It was a little boring.
Oh, you thought it was a little boring, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What part was boring for you?
Mostly, like,
when they were trying to get out.
When they were in that part of the planet that had like no trees or anything on it.
Oh, okay. When he was trying to get away from the robots and find, is that the part that was boring for you?
Yeah. And also kind of the whole movie was a little boring.
Oh, so you basically didn't care for the movie? Is that what you're saying? It wasn't one of your favorite PIXAR movies?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. All right. What was your favorite part in the movie?
Probably when the cat said that was utterly terrifying, and I regret having joined you because, can I say the reason?
Yeah, go ahead.
like on what we did yesterday.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So everyone watching, yesterday we went to Cedar Point, and on the roller coasters, I just said that line. It was just funny, right?
Right. You like the line and you used the line on the ride because you were scared.
I just kept copying what the cat said.
Now, what did you think of the cat?
Very, very funny.
All right, I thought you liked the cat. You thought it was a good character.
Yeah, it was funny.
I didn't like the cat. I thought the cat was creepy.
The cat was funny.
I thought he was creepy, man.
Because he was calm when it said you were gone about 22 years. I thought that was just funny.
I just thought he was a creepy cat. I thought it was creepy, and I was like, that's creepy cat.
It's not creepy. It's funny.
It was a creepy cat.
Funny. Funny cat.
Now, did you think it was weird that in the movie, you remember in the beginning, like that plant was always catching people and trying to pull them and like eat them, that plant in the beginning?
Mm-hmm. The vines?
Yeah, the vines. And then all of a sudden the vines disappeared. Did you find that weird? Towards the like.
Oh yeah, they didn't. The vines weren't even there anymore.
Right, and they were outside
at the beginning.
Right, and they were outside the bubble, right, for half the movie, and the vines never bothered them.
They can just dig under it, right?
I don't know. The vines just automatically disappear. Big piece of the story vanishes. Like the vines are attacking everyone. Every time he came back, he gets stuck by a vine, right? Vine tries to pull him, but he gets out of that little bubble area, and when he gets away. And there's no more vines. That's kind of weird, right? They like kind of forgot the part of that story. What you say?
The vines in it. Those vines should have stayed in it.
Exactly. So, what was a part of the movie you did not like?
I didn't like how the character Izzy just didn't go straight into space. I mean, they say that if you go, you just go straight. Like, how are you supposed to miss if you jump off and go straight there? Right?
Which part?
They said that.
Oh, about the space thing, jumping?
Yeah, if you go in space, you'll just keep going in the same direction forever. And she jumped, and then it made her go under.
Yeah, that's because...
all you would have to do is just walk off and just, like, do a swimming thing.
Well, if you recall, the other ship moved. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, they hit the controller thing, and the ship moved, which impeded her path. So the ship went up. She was going straight, and that's why.
But also, she just took forever to do it.
Yeah, because she was
scared.
scared.
If I was her, I would have just, like, okay, if we need to get over there, I'm willing to do it.
All right.
And then that wouldn't have ever happened.
What did you think about the sandwiches? Remember the sandwiches had
It's better with bread on both sides than the food on the inside and the bread on the inside. Like the food on the outside. The sandwiches just did not make my stomach feel good.
So it was like the sandwich only had one piece of bread. The bread was in the center, and the meat and the lettuce was on the outside on both sides of the bread, right? So they used less bread.
Uh-huh.
You don't think that was cool? Would you eat a sandwich like that?
No, my stomach did not like that.
The whole point of the movie, did you like the message in the movie? Like, the entire point of the movie is them trying to get off the planet, right? Buzz wants to figure out the fuel cell, save everyone, get off the planet, but then realizes, oh my God, some people were born here, have lives here now. We don't want to do that, so we'll stay on the planet. Did you like that message, or that's the way it ended, or did you have problems with that?
No, I think Buzz should have not done time travel, just like figured out a way back to Earth with the hyperspeed crystal.
Gotcha. What about the fact that the bad guy in this movie, the villain, is actually Buzz himself? Was that wacky or what?
The thing that didn't make sense to me is how, like, they're the same person, but one of them did achieve hyperspeed, but they were waiting there and took him into the jail, but Why didn't that happen to the other Buzz?
Because it was a different Buzz from a different dimension, different time and space.
No, it wasn't. That was the... No, he was still young when it showed that flashback on there.
Mm-hmm. Because remember, he said the old Buzz came back and they wanted to capture him, right? Because he stole the ship. Rather than stay on the planet, he took off and flew into space forever and ended up in another area of space, right? Where he found the new technology for the new ship and the new robots he built, right? And then he was going to come back to his old self and get the fuel thing.
Wait, didn't he say like he went back to somewhere?
Yeah, he went to another dimension, right? He went to another area and dimension.
No, he said like he went back somewhere, like back to Earth and found new technology.
He went to another dimension, found new technology, went really into the future, right? Because he flew so far into another area.
Yeah, he went to the future and probably went back and probably found his way back to Earth.
To find his old self, his young self, so he could go back in time farther prior to him wrecking the ship and making them all stranded. It's kind of confusing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to defeat himself. Buzz had to defeat Buzz to save everybody.
Wait, but if he killed the Buzz that was at that time, wouldn't he have died? Because he's Buzz 50 years.
It's all this space-time continuum stuff, right? Right?
Some of it makes no sense.
It's a whole science experiment. All right. So you, as far as the Toy Story movies that Buzz is a part of, how would you rate this? Because you got the 1 through 4 Toy Stories, and now this one as part of it, kind of, because you've seen how the real Buzz was that the toy figure's based off of. What do you think of rating these with the Toy Story movies? How would you rate them? Being first being the best, last being the worst. So really got 5 movies to rate.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's just do what was the best one?
I would have the first Toy Story first, the second one second, the second Toy Story, and the third Toy Story third. I'd have Lightyear right after that, and Toy Story 4 last.
You didn't like Toy Story 4?
No. No, I did not like it.
Why didn't you like Toy Story 4?
Because, like, I didn't like how
they split up?
Like, the beginning and the ending was.
Okay, so you didn't like that Buzz and Woody split up in the 4th one? Is that why?
No.
All right. So let's score this thing. Overall, what would you score this movie? 10 being the best, 1 being the worst.
2.5.
Whoa!
Didn't like it.
Whoa! 2.5. That's like the lowest one you've ever rated. Whoa!
Lowest.
So if you give this one 2.5, what do you give Toy Story 4?
1.1.
Oh my God, 2.5. Wow. That's crazy, man. 2.5. All right, I'm quite shocked. For me, overall, I give this one a 3.9.
Mine's lower than yours.
It is lower than mine. I just thought the story was silly. Didn't care for the story, but the animation was amazing. The way the figures looked, didn't it look good?
Mm-hmm.
It looked good.
That was one part that made it a 2 for me, and the cat also.
The cat was weird, man. The cat was weird. You like the cat?
Humor. The cat's humor.
So,
super fun.
Are you gonna see this movie again when it comes out to being able to stream?
Yeah, maybe once. Not that many times. I didn't really like it that much.
Are you gonna want to buy the movie?
I like the McDonald's commercial, Happy Meal commercial better. That one's funny. The McDonald's commercial thing. It goes like, so Buzz is just going through the planet and And he says, and then one of them says, "What's that?" And he says, and then he says to the cat, "Scan." And the cat says, "Scanning, scanning, scanning." And then Buzz says, "It's lunch."
Lunch. So
And
you
it's
like?
a McDonald's Happy Meal. And then it goes ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And then it goes back onto the like movies thing. And then one of the guys says, "Well, where did that music come from?"
So you think the commercial is funnier than the movie?
Yes. It was super. That commercial was just funny, right?
Right. All right. So wow, I'm quite shocked that you gave it such a low score. All right. All right. So for this review, Pietro gives it a 2.5, and I give it a 3.9. Anything else you'd like to add, Pietro, before we go? Or is that a wrap?
It's not thunderstorming, because that's what I said on my second video when it wasn't thunderstorming.
All right. All right. So for our review, Pietro gives it 2.5. I give it a 3.9. That's our review for Lightyear. Thanks for watching.